There was an attack where at least 12 people were killed in two simultaneous attacks, both claimed by ISIS in Tehran, Iran. There were 46 people wounded. The attack started this morning at 10:30 a.m. local time and didn't end until the mid-afternoon. The first attack was occurred at the Parliament building. Lawmakers were inside of the building when a suicide bomber detonated his vest inside of the building. There were 3 other terrorists who had rifles with them, killing people before they eventually killed themselves. And again, this is ISIS has taken responsibility for it. There were 11 people who were killed at the Parliament building. One attacker left, according to New York Times, one attacker left the Parliament after an hour and ran outside shooting in Tehran streets. Then he returned to the building. This is all happening simultaneous with a second attack. Now we have a video of the second attack that occurred at the tomb of Ayatollah Khomeini, who was the founder of the Islamic Republic. Let's take a quick look at the video that we have of the second attack. And there you can see the explosion that took place and the ensuing gunfight. And this again was at the tomb. You can see it from the AP at the top. It was the mausoleum of the Imam. They refer to him as the Imam Ayatollah Khomeini. The 2 assailants entered the west wing of the compound. One attacker detonated explosives. The explosives killed 1 individual. And another was reported to have been killed himself by the other attacker, killed himself by swallowing a cyanide pill. So the terrorists carried out this attack. It was 1 man and 2 terrorists, 1 man and 1 woman who carried out that attack. There's another video that we don't have, but the Islamic State, or ISIS, released a 24-second video showing the bloodied body of a man laying in the Parliament building while the gunman shouted, particularly in Arabic, he said, "Thank God. Do you think that we are going to leave? We will remain here, God willing." The current supreme leader, Ayatollah Ali Khamenei, slightly different than Khomeini, the tomb that was attacked, Khamenei stated today, "The Iranian nation is moving forward and advancing. Even these firecrackers that were set off today will not impact our nation's will. Everyone must know this." The Speaker of the Parliament called the attacks a minor incident, and the Iran's Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps appeared. They blamed Saudi Arabia and the United States for what happened today. In addition to the response from the current supreme leader, Khamenei, and the Speaker of the Parliament there were other statements issued across the globe. The one I want to bring up is the statement from the White House, from our president, President Trump. I'll bring it up on your screen now. This is what he said. He said, "We grieve and pray for the innocent victims of the terrorist attack in Iran and for the Iranian people who are going through such challenging times. We underscore that states that sponsor terrorism risk falling victim to the evil they promote." Yeah, that is the President of the United States, who could not take a moment to have sympathy with the Iranian people, for those people who were killed today by ISIS. I mean, you would think that he would seize upon this to promote the same narrative that he always promotes in terms of radical Islamic terrorism. But he could not do it without making the distinction of his feelings about Iran, saying, you know, they're a sponsor of state terrorism, and essentially they're going to reap what they have sown. Now, Iran has no good feelings about the United States in general, particularly the religious component of the government, not the secular government, but the supreme leader. They don't have a endearing view or a favorable view of the United States. However, I want you to listen to the tone that Iran took after 9/11 towards the United States. First of all, after 9/11, 60,000 people gathered and observed a minutes of silence in Tehran's soccer stadium. And Mohammad Khatami, he's the 5th president of Iran. This is what he said. He said, although the American administrations have been at best indifferent about terrorist operations in Iran since 1979, the Iranians instead felt differently and had expressed their sympathetic feelings with bereaved Americans in the tragic incidents in the two cities. And even the supreme leader, Khamenei, condemned and denounced the attacks and the terrorists who carried out the attacks. And so where Iran, who feels about America similar to the way that America feels about Iran, where Iran was able to look at America and say, yeah, we have our differences, but we grieve with you today. Donald Trump says, while we grieve with you today, you're getting what you brought this on yourself, essentially. We're dealing with a very, I don't know how many times are we going to have to say this between now and the end of his term, or 4 years, 2 years, impeachment, whatever. Between now and the end of this term, we're going to have to say it over and over again that we're dealing with a man-child who's incapable of operating at the level that we expect of the office of the President of the United States.